لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. اللهم لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah for finding ourselves once again in this blessed setting after having performed the prayer of Dhuhr in the congregation. Pray Allah accepts and blesses this gathering and guides us to that in which there is khair for us dunya and akhirah, and guides us to that in which we become worthy recipients of His pleasure. Ameen. Ya Rabbal. Our companion of the day, radiallahu anhu, is a man who fought against Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the companions in the battle of Badr. Fought against them. And he was of those who placed thorns in the way of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the companions whilst in Makkah. And when the opportunity came to raise arms against the Muslim community at the time, he did not hesitate. More than that, he took his son along with him. He witnessed all that occurred in Badr. Despite the fact that they were triple the size of the Muslim army, he witnessed the passing of lives, the death of his compatriots, other chiefs of Quraysh, and not only that, but he saw his son taken captive, and there was nothing that he could do about it but to retreat when it became evident to them that the battle was lost to them, the Quraysh. His name is Umayr ibn Wahb al-Jumahi. So he's back in Mecca after the battle of Badr, and he is filled with negative emotions. Firstly, he's frustrated because of the loss, and then also he's filled with concern because of his son that's there. And he's fearing, obviously, because of the position he had before the Battle of Badr as an instigator against Islam, and he was known for it. Him and Umayr ibn Khalaf and others. He was fearing that the Muslimun would take it out on his son. Okay. So he's sitting one early morning in the Haram of Makkah, by the Kaaba, and a gentleman comes to sit next to him. But this gentleman came with an agenda, because this gentleman, his father was killed in Badr, and he at the time was not in Badr or at Badr. So he felt a sense of guilt for not having been there with his father when his father lost his father's life. And he felt this urge now to avenge his father's death. So there was guilt because he wasn't there at the battle, and his father lost his life, and now he wanted to avenge his father. This man who came to sit next to Umayr ibn Wahb, his name was Safwan ibn Umayr. His father was Umayr ibn Khalaf, killed there at Badr, and a known enemy of Islam, a sworn enemy of Islam. So Safwan is now in Makkah, and he's looking for ways through which he can avenge his father's death. And he sees an opportunity by Umayr because he heard that Umayr's son is there. So he sits with him and he greets him. عِم صباحا يا سيد قريش. It was a greeting of Jahiliyyah. عِم أي أنعم صباحا, like good morning. Have a blessed morning. Oh, one of the chiefs of Quraysh. And so they respond, and Safwan says to him, let's chat a bit. فإنما يقطع الوقت بالحديث. Because time is cut with conversation. Gaining his favor, right? So you, obviously not having been there, but Safwan not having been there, he asked, you were there, what happened? Tell me, what was the problem? Did you see this one? Was that one's life taken? And who was taken captive? So he's throwing it out. Ultimately to say, my scene is done. My son is there. And he mentions at the end, to show that we have some connection, the names of those who were killed. And yes, my father is amongst them. And he, Umayr, mentions to him the other names. And he mentions what he came to hear about the Khalif, the deep well in which those killed of the Quraysh, their bodies were placed in. Okay. So now Safwan, he says, well, this is لَيْسَ فِي الْعَيْشِ خَيْرٌ بَعْدَهُ. Those of our chiefs and our warriors who died there and buried there that well, there's no good in living after them. So Umayr says, Sadaqt, you've spoken the truth. So now they are compatriots. So they remain silent. And Umayr says, وَرَبِّ الْكَعْبَةِ, by the Lord of this Kaaba. If it was not for duyunun alayya, if it was not for debts that I have, tying me down to Makkah, I have to now work and settle my debts. وَعِيَّادٌ أَخْشَى عَلَيْهِمُ الضَّيَاعَ مِنْ بَعْدِي, and family, young children that I fear would be at a loss without me. If it was not for these two facts, my debts and my children, لَمَضَيْتُ إِلَى مُحَمَّدٍ وَقَتَلْتُهُ, I would have gone to Muhammad and killed him. Umayr says, the one whose son is there in captivity. وَحَسَمْتُ أَمْرًا, and I would have finished him once and for all. وَكَفَفْتُ شَرًّا, and I would have saved everyone else from his evil. ثُمَّ أَتْبَعَ يَقُولُ بِصَوْتٍ خَافِتٍ. Then he says softly to him, so Umayr, whose son is there, he says to Safwan, and if I were to go, they would not suspect anything because they would think I am coming because of my son. For him to be released, they would not suspect me. Others have also gone for those in captivity or who kept held prisoner and trying to ransom them. And اغتنم صفوان بن أمية كلام عمير. Safwan was just waiting for this, and he took advantage of this opportunity now. ولم يشاء أن يفوته هذه الفرصة. And he did not want this opportunity to miss him. So what did he say? He turned to me and said, يا عمير, اجعل دينك كله عليك. Your debts, I take responsibility for it. And your children, عيالك سأضمهم إلى, I will count them as my children. Add them to my family. As long as I live, don't worry, even you go kill them, you're going to be killed, but you're prepared to do that, okay? As long as I live, your children will be seen, don't worry about them. And I have enough wealth to cover them and give them a good life. فقال Umayr then said, إذن, this is the case. I'm taking you by your word. And your father was there, I understand you want to avenge him. They understood, this didn't have to be said. اكتم حديثنا هذه, conceal this conversation of ours. ولا تطلع عليه أحدا, and do not inform anyone about it. Do not make anyone privy to this plan of ours. And Safwan says, لا كذلك, you have that, and it's safe between the two of us. So Umayr stands up immediately from the masjid, and the flames of enmity and hatred are boiling in his heart towards Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or against Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he starts preparing whatever was required for this long term. Okay? And there were others, despite the fact that there were others also moving on similar missions for their family members who were held captive, because there were about 70 prisoners of the Badr. He did not move where they wanted to move alone. Okay? And he had his sword sharpened, and he had it poisoned. He had the tip poisoned, and he had his ride prepared, and he mounted it, and he directed himself straight to Medina. And his plan was, he had one mission, he was prepared now, it's do or die. Rather, it's do and die, because he wouldn't come out alive, isn't it? No. So there's no need for any turning around in Medina. Once they enter Medina, no need for a boat or anything. Straight to wherever I'm going to find him, get as close to him as possible, with him thinking I'm coming to what? Speak about my son, and as soon as I get the opportunity, I will take his life. This is his plan. So he reaches Medina. After days now, he's determined. You can imagine he's trying to imagine different scenarios, what he might find when he gets there. But his ultimate mission is the same. His ultimate mission is to take the life of Rasulullah. So he comes there, he goes straight to what he identifies as the masjid, and he ties his camel and he enters. When he enters, there are Sahaba in the masjid. And Nabi Muhammad is there, but at the far end of the masjid. And those that in front, amongst them is Umar, radiallahu anhu. And they are busy chatting. At that time, they're chatting about Badr. And they're reminiscing and they're speaking about the prisoners, what's to happen to them, etc., etc. And they are recalling the heroic stances of some amongst them of the Muhajirin and Ansar. And they're reminding each other how Allah honored them with Allah's divine help. And how Allah humiliated the enemies, because they came through Makkah. It was tough times. And Badr was a decisive event, an experience. Can't imagine what the level of the Iman was after Badr, during Badr. So they were trying to maintain that sweetness, that illuminated spirit. And as he's speaking, Umar, of all the people, caught sight of Umayr. And he noted him with the camel there and coming in with his sword hanging by his neck. So you normally have it on your side, maybe he had like a belt around his neck, tied onto his sword. Umar, habba mad'uran, jumped up like someone in a fit, and he called out loud, I'm going to say these two things, I'm going to say this one thing and another thing coming which is huge, but we have to draw a lesson from this, right? Umar called it. Umar said, هَذَا الْكَلْبُ عَدُوُّ اللَّهِ. And you know what that means? This dog, the enemy of Allah, Umayr ibn Wahb, Wallahi ma ja'a illa rishar. He has not come except for evil, something bad. Umar had some other firasa, intuition. So he's seen as he came for something else. He is the one, أَلَّبَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ عَلَيْنَا فِي Makkah. He is the one who stirred the mushrikun against us in Makkah. They know his history. This man wasn't just a man that popped up there in Badr. No, he's got a long history with him. And he was one of those guys who stood out in Badr with the way he attacked us. Now, he said to those sitting there, he said, you all imdu ila Rasulullah, go to Rasulullah and stay around him, stay around Rasulullah and warn him that he should not be fooled by this piece of filth. Al-Khabith al-Makir, this plotting piece of filth, Umar. And then he himself, because he sent them, and Umayr is entering. He sent them, but then he went himself. Because he went to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. بادر عمر إلى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وقال يا رسول الله هذا عدو الله Umayr is here. He's coming to save you. His sword is hanging around his neck, and I do not think except that he's come for some evil. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is calm and he said, أدخله علي. Let him enter, man. Let him come. So Umar went. فأقبل الفاروق went على عمير وأخذ بتلابيبه. He didn't just tell him, Umayr, no, he took hold of him by the front of his clothing. وَطُوَّقَ عُنُقَهُ بِحِمَارَةِ سَيْفِهِ. And he strangled him with the belt of his sword. So he's got one hand on his clothes, I think, right? And he's strangling him with the belt of his sword, and he dragged him against Rasulullah. No chances. رضي الله عنه وارضاه. فلما رآه النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام, look at our Rasul صلى الله عليه وسلم. When Nabi Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم saw Umayr in this state, على هذه الحالة, قال له, he said to Umar, أطلقه يا عمر. Release him, ya Umar, leave him. فأطلقه. Left him. Not only that, قال له, استأخر عنه. Just step back from him. Give him space. Because Umar was ready to pounce. فَتَأَخَّرَ عُمَرُ وَمَا stepped back. The Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam turned his beautiful presence, he directed it to Umayr and told Umayr, "Udnu ya Umayr, come closer. Draw closer ya Umayr." فَدَنَا, he got closer. And as he comes into Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's presence, his space, he says, "An'im sabah." That greeting, good morning. فقال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لقد أكرمنا الله بتحية خير من تحيتك يا عمر. Allah has honored us with a greeting better than yours, Ya Umayr. لقد أكرمنا الله بالسلام. Allah has honored us with salam, a greeting of peace. But it's also da'wah, because Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was privy to something else. Salam is peace here. Or وَتَحِيَّةُ أَهْلِ الْجَنَّةِ, and it is the greeting of the people of Jannah. Nabi sallallahu saying all this thing. فقال عمير, now he's thrown off his feet. He doesn't. How do you respond to something like that? You greet someone, he doesn't greet you back. Rather, he says, "That greeting is okay, but we have something better now. It's a greeting of peace, and it's the greeting of the people of Jannah." So now he says the first thing that pops up into his head, and he says, "Wallahi ma anta biba'idin an tahiyyatina, wa innaka bihadha hadithu ahli." You are not a foreigner to this greeting of ours. Why did you greet me back like? Right? You used to use it yourself not so long ago. It's like thrown off. It doesn't make sense. It's useless whatever he's saying anyway. And Rasulullah didn't even respond to that. He goes straight to the point. He says, "Man alladhi ja'a bika ya Umayr?" What has brought you here, Umayr? What has brought you here, ya Umayr? Why are you here? قال جئت أرجو فكاك هذا الأسير. I have come hoping for the release of this captive which you have, my son. فأحسنوا إلي فيه. I hope that you honor me, treat me well regarding him. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam then said, "Okay, that's what you are saying. فما بال السيف الذي في عنقك?" What is the issue with that sword hanging around your neck? If you come for your son in peace, why is there a sword hanging around your neck? So he then responds like aggressively and says, "This is nothing. قبح الله مسيوف. This is nothing. It's an old phony thing anyway, because he did not help our people at the Battle of Badr." And I said, "Okay, that's what you are saying. Usdukni, but tell me the truth. That's what you're saying. It's nothing. You're just carrying it with you. But tell me the truth. ما الذي جئت له يا عمير?" I said, "ما جئت إلا لذاك. I have not come except for that." I said, "No. بل قعدت أنت وسفيان بن أمية عند الحجر." You and Safwan ibn Umayr were sitting by the Hijr. فَتَذَكَرْتُ مَا أَصْحَابِ الْقَلِيمِ, and you were speaking, reminiscing, speaking about those who were buried there in the well of the Quraysh. And you said to him, لَوْلَا دَيْنٌ عَلَيَّ وَعِيَالٌ عِنْدِي. If it was not for my debt and my children, I would have come out. لَخَرَجْتُ حَتَّى أَقْتُلَ مُحَمَّدًا. I would have come out until I get the opportunity to kill Muhammad. فَتَحَمَّلَ لَكَ صُفْوَانُ بْنُ أُمَيَّةَ دَيْنَكَ وَعِيَالَكَ. So Sufwan ibn Umayr took responsibility of your debt and your children. عَلَى أَن تَقْتُلَنِي, facilitating or trying to facilitate that you kill me. وَاللَّهُ حَائِلٌ بَيْنَكَ وَبَيْنَ ذَلِكَ. But Allah will place a barrier between you and that. Allah will stop you from doing that. فَذَهِلَ عُمَيْرُ رَحْمَةً. Umayr was silent for a while, obviously. Dumbfounded, flabbergasted. Then the only thing that you could say, without, almost instantly he said, أَشْهَدُ أَنَّكَ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ. I testify that you are the messenger of Allah. ثم أرضى فيقول, then almost immediately he said, لَقَدْ كُنَّا يَا رَسُولَ اللَّهِ نُكَذِّبُكَ بِمَا كُنْتَ تَأْتِينَ بِهِ مِنْ خَبَرِ السَّمَاءِ. We used to belie you. And he says, "Oh messenger of Allah," he says here, "we used to belie you regarding what you bring from the news of the heavens. وَمَا يَنْزِلُ عَلَيْكَ مِنَ الْوَحْيِ, and what descends upon you of revelation. لكن خبري مع صفوان بن أمية لم يعلم به أحد إلا أنا وهو." But the information regarding me and Safwan ibn Umayyah, no one knows it but me and him. وَوَاللَّهِ لَقَدْ أَيْقَنْتُ, I have full surety, أَنَّهُ مَا أَتَاكَ بِهِ إِلَّا اللَّهِ, that no one has granted you that information but Allah. Can't be. Now he says, فَالْحَمْدُ لِلَّهِ الَّذِي سَاقَنِي إِلَيْكَ سَوْقًا. So all praise is due to Allah, who has driven me, steered me towards you. لِيَهْدِيَنِي إِلَى الْإِسْلَامِ, to guide me to Islam. I came for one purpose, I came with a particular intention, but Allah drew me here to guide me to Islam. ثم شهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأن محمد رسول الله وأسلم. So he took full shahada and he embraced Islam. فقال عليه الصلاة والسلام لأصحابه, so Nabi Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم said to his companions, فقهوا أخاكم في دينه. Teach, help your brother, help your brother understand, give him understanding of his deen. Is your brother. He was now that man who was the instigator. He was now that man who fought them in Badr. He was now that man who came with this animosity, with Iman now. Didn't we say yesterday regarding Thumama? Al-Islam yajubbu ma qablahu. Islam effaces, erases every single negative thing before it. Here he, with Iman, became brother. إنما المؤمنون إخوة وعلموه القرآن, and teach him the Quran. And a bonus, أطلقوا أسيره, release his son. Obviously the Muslimun became extremely happy. And then Umar, the one who said that before, said something else. And it's going to be difficult to say at the start especially, but I'm going to say it to show you, and we learn from this, the strong bond that we are supposed to have as believers. The strong bond that Iman is supposed to make us realize we have. Isn't it? I don't know you, I met you here. And you, no matter where you go on the planet, because of Iman, you have brothers and sisters. You are linked. Azwaju ummahatuhum. Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's wives are our mothers. And he said to the Sahaba, in Abu Dawud, the hadith is there, he said to them, إِنَّمَا أَنَا لَكُمْ بِمَنْزِلَةِ الْوَالِدِ, I am back to you in the position of a father. So he is in the position of the father, his wives are our mothers, and all believing males and females are our brothers and sisters. Just like that, his state changed. To the extent that Umar then said, when Rasulullah informed and they heard the Shahada, and Nabi told him, he is your guru, your new brother, teach him, help him with his deen, and his son is free too, and his son embraced Islam, his son accepted. Umar said, لَخِنْزِيرٌ أَحَبَّ إِلَيَّ مِنْ عُمَيْرٍ مِنْ وَهْبٍ حَيْنَ قَدِمَ عَلَى رَسُولِ اللَّهِ. As he was entering, a pig, a swine was more beloved to me than Umayr ibn Wahb. At the time when he entered, I would love a pig more than him. These are huge words. But now, وَهُوَ الْيَوْمَ أَحَبُّ إِلَيَّ مِنْ بَعْدِ أَبْنَائِي. But he now is more beloved to me than some of my children. Look what he says. He doesn't say, my children. He says, some of my children. What was the other man? What was the other man? I was trying to think, why would he say some of my children? Anyway, Umar, he says, I would like and love a pig more than him before. Because the pig is in submission to Allah. وَإِن مِّن شَيْءٍ إِلَّا يُسَبِّحُ بِحَمْدِهِ وَلَكِنْ لَا تَفْقَهُونَ تَسْبِيحَهُم. They also glorify Allah. But now, I love him. He's more beloved to me than some of my children. I thought maybe, okay, he's got sons, daughters, maybe love his daughters also, some. But now, things change. And he's settled. And he's overtaken with the nur of Iman. So now, beautiful word, and Muhammad, the word shows in here, and we were speaking yesterday about purification, the concept of purification, okay? It starts with knowledge, like Shaykh Mukhtar al-Mahrawi says. So the author says here, Umayr is now sitting, and he came with baggage, but now the teaching is important. Why Rasulullah started by saying, teach your brother, because Umayr yuzakki nafsahu bita'alim al-Islam. Started purifying his nafs with the teachings of Islam. وَيُتْرِعُ فُؤَادَهُ أَيْ يَمْلَأ. And he started filling his heart بِنُورِ القرآن. وَيَحْيَا أَرْوَعَ أَيَّامِ حَيَاتِهِ وَأَبْنَاهِ. And he started living the most excellent days of his life and the most enriched days of his life. In the company of his new brothers, in the atmosphere of the Quran and the pure teachings of Deen, and in the blessed space of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. To the extent, أَنْسَاهُ مَكَّةَ وَمَنْ فِي مَكَّةَ. It made him forget Makkah and everything in Makkah. But who is still there? Safwan is still there. Ibn Umayr, Shaykh. Safwan on the other hand, not knowing what was happening, and the beauty and the divine opening that Allah had blessed Umayr with, was telling people, not to worry and telling them that some good news was on the way. Going into there, like the Nadi, Andiya of Quraysh, in the meeting places, they were speaking about how to get the Sahaba back and Rasulullah back and plotting, and he was telling them, when you worry me, you will be getting some good. أبشروا بنبأ عظيم يأتيكم قريبا فينسيكم وقعة بدر. Don't worry, you'll get some good news soon, and it will make you forget what happened at Badr. Don't worry. You're not telling them what the plan was. He's got hope in Umayr, and I found some references saying that they were related. Umayr and Safwan were related, they were cousins. And they were childhood friends from Jahiliyyah time. So not only did he know that, look, Umayr had a mission because of his son there and all, and even if he doesn't come back, he's got this one thing on his mind, and I can trust him. So then, time passed. And the longer time passed, the more he starts to worry, obviously. Safwan. And then he couldn't hold it back anymore. Any riders passing Makkah or coming through, he would start asking them now. And he did not have any satisfying answer until one day one man came. And the man told him, Umayr, you asked him what Umayr? Umayr told Aslam. He accepted Islam. And at that time, he then took an oath. Safwan then took an oath. It's not in this text, but I found it elsewhere. Safwan then took an oath that he will not speak. If he were to face Umayr again, he will not speak to him again. He will not utter a word to him. Okay. And obviously this news, the author says this news obviously hit him like the heaviest blow ever, because it was the furthest from his mind. The last person he would expect to embrace Islam would be Umayr. On the face of the earth, he never expected that would happen, so this news affected him badly. And he went on a tangent. This is now Safwan, more against Islam, and more against Rasulullah and more against the Sahaba. As for Umayr, on the other hand, Umayr, back in Medina now, learning more of the deen, memorizing whatever was easy for him from the words of Allah, he then came to Rasulullah one day. He settled. And he said to Rasulullah, I spent a long time trying my best to extinguish the nur of Allah before, and I was intense in harming the deen of Islam. And I would love you, look at these words, I would love that you permit me to go to Medina so I can call Quraysh to Allah and His Messenger. I want to do that. Things haven't settled yet, and I go me alone. If they accept from me, ni'ma ma fa'alu, then good for them. And if they turn away from me, I am going to see to that I harm some of them like I harmed you all before. It makes you think of Thumama the way yesterday. Because they want to make amends, want to do something for deen like they were. He's receiving now. See, he's receiving all this nur and this barakah, and he feels enriched, and he's got his son with him, he's feeling good, but he wants to give back, so he says, I'm going to do to them what I did before to you. Nabi Sallallahu gave him permission, and he left for Makkah, and the first house he went to was whose house? Safwan's house. And he comes to the house and he calls out loud, Ya Safwan, you are a chief, Allah gave you permission, Allah gave you position, and you are intelligent. Do you really now tell me really? But Safwan is not answering him, he's not speaking to him. He's not uttering a word to him, not responding to him. He tells him, do you really now think it makes sense to worship idols? Huh? Is this yasihu fil aql? Is this sound in intellect? This can be a deed? And I'm not responding, so he said, okay, don't respond, but I have testified. So now he's removing all down, and he says loud in front of him again, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. So now the narrative here simply says that Umayr continued calling others to Allah in Makkah, and lots of the Meccans embraced Islam on his hands. So the author simply says now at the end, may Allah reward Umayr in the best of manners. I was not satisfied with the narrative because I wanted to know what became of Safwan afterwards, isn't it? So we still have some time. So what happened basically afterwards? His situation we can understand. He was in a different state of mind and a different state of heart. Why? Because it was his father that was killed there. And he felt that guilt because he wasn't there. So when Uhud came, he did not hesitate to go and fight. Okay? He fought. And every other occasion, like the Ghazwat al-Ahzab, the Khandaq, the trench and the Confederates, He was a big supporter, and he rallied people, and he rallied wealth for weapons and whatever they needed. He was all against everyone because he wanted to satisfy this. He wanted to remove the guilt, obviously, to the extent that after Hudaybiyah, they say there was an incident when 3 of the Muslimun were captured. They broke the pledge by doing this. So that's what happened. And he, even though they had access, anyone had access to those 3 Muslimun, he prepared himself to buy the one Muslim from the other as a slave, with the sole purpose of killing him, to appease himself for his father's death, which he did. He took the life. Zayd ibn Dathinna radiallahu anhu was killed by the hand of Safwan as a way to appease himself. Okay? Now time is passing. It's now close to the Fath of Makkah, and before Rasulullah even enters Makkah, who embraces Islam, which was his last blow for him? In his own house, his wife, Fakhita, her name was Fakhita. She embraced Islam, and the moment she embraced, she left him. Okay? He then, hearing news of Rasulullah sallallahu and Sahaba approaching Makkah, before they could ever enter, he fled. He left for Jeddah with the plan of taking a ship down to the bottom. He couldn't stay there anymore. He didn't want to see them or anyone. He left alone, and he left with the intention to Jeddah with the intention of going down to the bottom of Hijaz, where the Yemen area is, to live the rest of his days out there. As they entered, Umayr is now with Rasulullah. Okay? And Wahb is there, Umayr's son. Firstly, Umayr ibn Wahb. Umayr, the son of Wahb. So Umayr named his son after the grandfather. So Umayr ibn Wahb and his son, Wahb ibn Umayr, they are with Rasulullah. And you can imagine, there's lots of things going through Umayr's mind, isn't it? One of which is what? Where is Safwan? My cousin, what's he going to do? Are we going to fight him here or not? And he finds that Safwan had lived, but from those around he discovers that he had not lived that long, and they were privy to the information that he had a plan of going to Jeddah. So Umayr immediately, as soon as things settled in Makkah, he goes to Rasulullah and says, when Rasulullah did something, he gave Amman al-Mushrikeen. He gave them the option. You either accept Islam, or you take a period of time to stay here in Makkah in safety to decide regarding your future. Listen, Makkah now became a Darul Islam. Okay? So he gave the non-Muslims in Makkah the opportunity to decide. Look at the beauty. He gave them an opportunity to decide whether they want to embrace Islam or they do. If they do not want to, then there's 2 options. Either they leave or they stay and pay jizya, tax. Because they're going to benefit from whatever's going to happen in the place. So Umayr comes to Rasulullah and says, Safwan left, and I want to go after him. I want to give him the chance, Ya Rasulullah. Would you grant that same safety if I managed to bring him back? Would you also give him an opportunity to decide? Nabi Sallallahu says, you will be safe. But now look what he does. Umayr knows Safwan and the turmoil he may be finding himself in. So what he says to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "A'tini ayatan yu'rafu biha amanuk." Give me a sign that he may gain surety of your words that he is safe. And of all the things Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam could have done, of all the things Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam could have given, you know what Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam gives? He takes off his turban and gives to him. And it's the same turban that he entered Makkah with. It was a black turban. A black turban. We don't know exact design, but it was black. And he takes off his turban and gives it to Umayr and says, take it and show him this is the sign of the Aman. So he goes and he races and he's determined, and he manages, alhamdulillah, to get to Safwan. And he shows him the turban. And he says, Rasulullah ﷺ has confirmed your safety if you come back. And he says to him, the words are so unique. He says to him, Allah fi nafsika an tuhlikaha. He says, as if I beseech Allah, think about your life. You are causing your own destruction if you were to leave. Because you'll be doomed forever. It's an opportunity. Give yourself a chance at least. Right? هذا أمان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وجئتك بأن come with this as a sign of your safety. So come with me. He obviously said, اغرب عني. Where do you go? Don't speak to me. He then said, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Umayr said, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the best of people. He's the most honorable of people. He's the most noble of people. The greatest of people who you could interact with. Don't worry, because he knows he's worried now because he did things afterwards. Like Thumam had a concern yesterday. He says, عِزُّهُ عِزُّكْ وَشَرَفُهُ شَرَفُكْ. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is such a person that your well-being concerns him. His well-being is dependent on yours, and his state of honor and dignity is dependent on yours. Like he will want to be treated, he will treat you. That's what Umayr is telling Safwan. So Safwan says, I fear for my life. So he says, no, هو أحلم من ذلك وأكرم. He is more compassionate than that, and is more noble and generous than that. Don't worry. So anyway, he says, look, it's two options. Either I go and never ever know what would have happened had I gone to face him, or I go and face the consequences. So he goes with him. And long story short, they come in front of Rasulullah, and the first thing he says, Umayr claims that you're granting me safety. Nabi says, Sadaq, he's spoken the truth. So he says to Rasulullah, فَجَعَلْنِي فِيهَا بِالْخِيَارِ شَهْرَيْنِ. Give me 2 months. A choice of 2 months to decide. And Nabi said, أَنْتَ بِالْخِيَارِ فِيهِ أَرْبَعَةَ أَشْهُرٍ. I give you 4 months. Take your time. Look at this. Long story short, some few more things happened at time, and I wanted to mention one last thing. After a few weeks, there was the issue of Hunayn, and Nabi sent the message to him because he was still affluent. He still had lots of possessions. Sent a message to him asking if they could borrow some of his goods. And he was not Muslim at the time yet, and this is not Safwan. So he said, is it a forced thing because I'm living here, or are you asking me? I'm really asking you. It's your possession, you can refuse. So he said, okay, you can borrow it. So Nabi borrowed some things from him to give to the Sahaba, empowering them for what they had to face with Hunayn. And when they won in Hunayn and there was booty, would you believe if I tell you Rasulullah assigned or allotted and gave him land from the booty and gave him of the produce of the booty, and he had not yet embraced. And not long after he accepted Islam, and his Islam was beautiful, and his heart was cleansed, especially when he realized everything before has been forgiven. And he took pride in narrating certain hadith of Rasulullah, certain hadith surprisingly regarding etiquette, regarding how to eat, and how to choose certain things and all. There's one unique hadith I never got a chance to check its authenticity, but they say he quotes it when Rasulullah speaks about when you have biting meat with the front of your teeth because it results in it being more tasty. Anyway, so one of the things I've learned from this, going a bit back, is when he came into Rasulullah's presence and Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam informed him to the T about the private conversation between him and Safwan. What does it mean, sir? It's from the ghaib, is it not? Unseen, is it not? Now, it's a reminder for us that even if I'm alone with someone or some people, we might think we are alone, but Allah says in the Quran, ما يكون من نجوى ثلاثة إلا هو رابعهم ولا خمسة إلا هو سادسهم ولا أدنى من ذلك ولا أكثر إلا هو معهم أينما كان. There is no small private meeting gathering of 3 except that Allah is the 4th. And neither is the gathering of 5 except Allah is their 5th. And neither is there an amount smaller that gathers or an amount bigger that gathers except that Allah is with them wherever they may find themselves. And if He does not inform them of what they discuss discussed and deep in this dunya, He will inform them on the day of Qiyamah. Is it not? Then the issue of the ghaib too, the issue of the unseen. Allah is the alim al-ghaib. And what does He say? Can Allah give people some knowledge of the unseen? Yes. Only messengers? Not necessarily. I'm going to say this again. Maybe it's over some time, maybe you might dwell, but this is important. We're trying to learn from this experience. Is it not? Now, the unseen is Allah's domain. And He's the alim al-ghaib. But you must understand, like He, and everything in the alim of shahada, alim al-ghaib or shahada, we are in the alim of shahada, that which is witnessed. Like everything in the alim of shahada is under His control and supervision. Everything in the alim of the ghaib is also under His control and supervision. And if He Jalla Jalaluhu wants to cause a bridge to appear between the two, making some people privy of some things here, or some people privy of some things there, He can do so because it's both His, Jalla Jalaluhu. And therefore He says in Surah Al-Jinn, عالم الغيب فلا يظهر على غيبه أحدا إلا من ارتضى من رسول. He is the knower of the unseen, and He does not expose anyone to that unseen except whom He is pleased with of a messenger. Now it's unique that Allah doesn't say specifically the messenger or the messengers or prophets. He said a messenger. A messenger could be an appointed messenger, like the messengers, or it could be someone who is given information, a message to convey to others. Even a king can have a dream. We have documentation. Well, Allah, maybe not even Muslim kings. Look at the king of Egypt in Surah Yusuf. Allah gave the message, and he was merely the messenger of something to come. Think. And then look at Khidr and Musa alayhi salam. Mufassirun say it's Khidr. Allah simply refers to him as what? Intentionally and purposely. عَبْدًا مِنْ عِبَادِنَا. A servant from amongst our servants who we have blessed with a special mercy, and we have given him knowledge from outside. He knew things. How did he know to break part of the ship? I know there was a king around the corner taking the ships. How did he know to do that for the boy? What he did, it's a huge thing what he did to the boy. How did he know to straighten the wall, and about the orphans, and that the father was a pious man, etc. Allah gives as gifts. There's lots to be spoken, and obviously our Mashaykh can tell you about how Allah gives certain people gifts. A narration of Umar comes to mind, but there's no time. But the unseen and knowledge from Allah. وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ وَيُعَلِّمُكُمُ اللَّهُ. And the last but in no way least, one important other lesson is the lesson of brotherhood in Islam, as mentioned before, and how the Sahaba understood it. How a complete change came about when Shahada was taken by Umayr. How Umar felt towards him before, and how Umar's heart opened towards him after he had taken Shahada. A complete change. And the question is regarding us and our fellow Muslim brothers and sisters. People do things and we develop a type of attitude towards them. Sadly, towards our own Muslim brothers and sisters. And we say sometimes it's their own fault. It's their fault that I feel this way regarding them because of what they have done. And there are people who prefer dealing with non-Muslims, etc., than dealing with Muslim brothers or sisters, which is a sad state of affairs. But we cannot cut ourselves off. It's a tricky thing to say, but we cannot cut ourselves off. We have to deal with people as best possible. خالق الناس, again yesterday, بخلق حسن. And that love, even though our Muslim brother has done something unexpected to us, hurt us or affected us, sometimes they do something that changes your personality, your attitude to life. People can do things, and we are tests for each other. وَجَعَلْنَا بَعْضَكُمْ لِبَعْضٍ فِتْنَةً. We have made some of you a test for others. أَتَصْبِرُونَ, are you going to persevere? Are you going to persevere? Know at least that كَانَ رَبُّكَ بَصِيرًا. Your Lord sees it all. Allah knows and sees it all. Allah will take a reckoning, but you cannot just cut yourself off. This link of Iman is a powerful link. This link of Iman makes you like one structure together, and your presence there is needed for the structure to be complete. The Ummah is struggling because the Ummah is fighting with each other. The Ummah is struggling and the Ummah has weakened because the Ummah has differed with each other on huge levels. That aspect of brotherhood has left to a large extent. So alhamdulillah for this opportunity. You have met here and you have come here not for anything worldly, solely for Allah's sake, and as a result there's a connection and a bond that we pray extends throughout our lives and beyond to the akhirah, because it's an important bond, and we pray that through this bond much positivity comes beyond this experience here. Our relationships here results in some progress in our own individual communities, because we've come from far and wide, alhamdulillah. Somehow that links, we might not see it now. Where did he think his life would change? Coming with this mission, and his life changes to that extent. Huh? Not only did he get his son freed, but they have iman, and their lives were enriched. We do not know from this. We first pray for long lives, health and strength, right? And sanity, so we can end up, we can do much more for our lives. But this bond is an important bond. I've benefited so much. One thing Maulana Khalil shared with me yesterday, and I hope that I'm able to use it beyond Ramadan, because there's benefit in it, you never know. But our hearts have to be open to each other. The young must respect the elders. The elders must have mercy on the young. And brothers must share more. Brothers must be concerned about giving the next person their right. See to the rights of others, give them their space, and your rights will be seen to. If everyone were to see to the rights of others, then everyone's rights would be seen to. Think about it. This issue of brotherhood. Allah created this bond between the Muhajirun and Ansar then. It was important at that time, and it's as important now, even more than ever, because of the state that the Ummah is in. So we pray for the Ummah. And we pray for our position in the Ummah, that Allah makes it a position of purpose, a position of positivity, a position of progress, that Allah uses us for the service of deen somehow or the other, drawing from the lessons and the beauty of the lessons in the lives of these great men whom we are linked with and who are our brothers too. And not only that, I end with this beautiful hadith that you know, that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam sat with the Sahaba one day and said, وَدِدْتُ لَوْ رَأَيْتُ إِخْوَانِي, how I wish I had seen, or I could see my brothers. So the Sahaba then said, أَوَلَسْنَا إِخْوَانَكَ يَا رَسُولَ اللَّهِ, are we not your brothers, Ya Rasulullah? The Sahaba, he said, no, but أَنْتُمْ أَصْحَابِ, you are my companions. My brothers are those who will come long after me. They may not have seen me, but they will believe in me. Don't you love Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Have you seen him? But you love him with all your heart, and you will defend him now. He did not want us to fight for him. They draw cartoons and things, and they do whatever they want. They have not diminished his rank. Because the Malaika sing salawat on him all the time. In Adhan we testify to his messengership and messengerhood all the time. In our prayers 5 times a day, our prayer to Allah, we sing salawat on Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We do this. Salah is not complete. It's of the arkan of salah to Allah. Look at this, the Prophet's position. It's of the arkan of salah. And at the end, in your prayer, you've prostrated, you've bowed. But at the end, your salah is not complete until you remember the Rasul. In second person and in third person, Assalamu alayka ayyuhan nabi wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and you said salawat alayhi. Look at this position. He did not want us to fight for him, but we understand why people lose their mind when people swear Rasulullah. We understand why people could lose their minds if they present him in a demeaning manner and fashion. But he did not want that. He's okay. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now they think the fools, they think just because of what Muslims are doing, they want to burn the Quran. We do that when we want to remove it. Isn't it? Yeah, when we want to make away with it. That's what we do. So they're doing us a favor. They think by burning it, they're going to slap us in the face. That's ignorance, but yeah, Allah guide our hearts. Ameen. I mean, Denmark and all these other places, Allah guide, and Allah help our brothers and sisters who are living here currently. But look what Rasulullah said. He said with the Sahaba, and the times were good, and he had all their support and their love, and he was sharing that love with them, and it was a good time. And he said, how I wish I could see my brothers. when he was on the Hajjatul Wada, he did not have a lot, but he spent money to buy two goats. And when he slaughtered the one, he said, this is on behalf of myself, I'm slaughtering this. And when he slaughtered the second, he didn't say it's on behalf of my companions or on behalf of my family, he said this is on behalf of the Ummah. Huh? And when Aisha radiallahu anha, when she saw him one day in a very, very joyous mood, he was always smiling, but she saw him in an extra joyous mood, she asked him to make dua for her. So he raised his hands and he said, Allahumma fili Aisha kama qaddamat wa ma akharat wa ma a'lanat wa ma asarrat. Oh Allah, forgive Aisha, whatever she may have done in the past, whatever she may do in the future, whatever she may have done in private, or whatever she may do in public. And she, with this dua, she started laughing. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, my dua that pleased you, Ya Aisha? She said, and why not? It's such a beautiful dua. He said, Wallahi, innaha لدعوتي لأمتي دبر كل صلاة. It is my dua for my ummah after every salah. And Allah cover our faults, and Allah make our private lives better than our public lives. It's not. Umar slapped the man once when he cried in public. He said, cry in private, man. You know? We all fake, we just try not. I'm saying that too, and I'm tested in that. But Ya Allah, Allah forgive us. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك وتبارك اسمك وتعالى جدك ولا اله غيرك. صلى الله وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى اله